Hi, I'm Jillian from Pure Wow, and I am here with Bryce Kennedy of Boom Feng Shui in New York City. And Bryce, correct me if I'm wrong, your title is Feng Shui Master?
That is true.
That is an amazing. It says that on your business card?
It does. I leave that out. It's only for special people. Yeah.
Well, today, Bryce is going to help me understand Feng Shui a little bit better, specifically in my apartment. So I'm super nervous. I don't know what he's going to tell me.
It'll be good. It's always fun just to kind of go into a room without knowing what to expect, because that's kind of where the magic unfolds, you know?
Yeah.
Because once we have the preconceived notions, then it gets rigid and cramped.
Okay, I have a super embarrassing question to start. What is Feng Shui?
Okay, that's it. No, it's not. I don't even know. No, so the literal meaning is wind and water, right? And the essence of that is flow, and that's pretty much the beauty of life, right? Our blood flows, wind and water flow, energy flows from the sunlight into the home. Like, our goal is to be in flow, and so that's why Feng Shui is so important. It's not like, we'll get to this, it's not about moving couches and beds and all this other stuff. It's about how your life, inside and out, has the most flow. And since the home is really a reflection of us, it's a living thing, and you start looking at the home as a living thing, then you start seeing different pieces that embody this flow or block the flow. It's just imagine like a blocked artery, you know? Mm-hmm. You don't want that. And if the home is a living environment, then you don't want the blocked flow. So that's what Feng Shui is.
Yeah. And before we started filming this segment, we actually had this lovely moment where we sat down and meditated and grounded ourselves. What exactly were we doing there?
So with all my clients, I love to start with a grounding meditation because, especially in New York City, since we're in New York right now, it's chaos. I mean, it is absolute chaos. I call it the work and go syndrome. It's like work and go. Even to the gym, it's like that's our one moment of whatever, but it's still like this responsibility. So when you have a chance to ground yourself in a meditation, it's like you're creating a space, because there it is again, Feng Shui is all about this creation of space. Mm-hmm. You create a space for yourself to kind of delineate from the outside world of what you're now bringing into this new moment. You're basically saying, now is the moment for me. And so that's what meditation, that's what this grounding exercise does. It transfers from the chaos to this present moment.
Love it.
Yeah. Because that's really what it is. It's like space. Space is it. And I do have to say this real quick. Time, people say time is the most invaluable quality or thing in the world, right? Mm-hmm. Commodity. And space, to me, is second or equal to that, because no matter where you are in a space. You and I are right now in a space. We're talking to you. You're in a space. This home creates a space. Your work environment is space. Your head is space. Inside your body is space. And so what you want to do is figure out, kind of going back to the words Feng Shui, where that space has the most flow. And if you can start creating that in every second of the day, in every second of your life, then think about it. I mean, you're kind of like the commander of your world.
Yeah.
When you own your space.
Well, I spend a lot of time thinking about things like the color schemes of my space and, how fabulous this painting would look in my space, but I don't ever think about energy. So I'm super excited to hear what you have to say about the energy in my living room and how we could make it flow better.
Yeah. Good. Awesome.
All right.
Well, let's start over here.
Okay.
So for people who we're just going to use this as an example, because this is what I call kind of a very anchoring power position in a living room or any kind of space that you have, right?
This fabulous lamp my husband got in 2002 or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because you can see it, like it takes up a lot of space.
Uh-huh.
There's again space.
Yeah.
But if we're going off the premise that everything in our life is energy and influences our space. So everything is energy. Everything that you have in your life, people, thoughts, things, influences your space. And again, we want to come back to our space is our space. So let's just say hypothetically this was pulled out of the trash from someone who'd been murdered and was a drug dealer.
I hope that's the story. Right. I don't actually know the story behind
this lamp. This is beauty. It's beautiful. And so this would be bad. This would be bad energy, because all of a sudden you're putting it in this powerful position in this living room that's beautiful, has so much thing, and you walk in through the front door, you see this guy that has drug dealer energy. It would be bad news. And so you want to really start cultivating things in your life, especially when you put them in positions like this that have really powerful, good energy and good memories too. Here's another example. This, can I grab this?
Yeah, go for it.
So up here,
Uh-huh.
let's just say you hated your aunt.
Uh-huh.
Right? And this is such a...
If you're watching Aunt, I don't hate you.
She doesn't hate you, she loves you. I love you. And this was, you hated your aunt, but let's just say a lot of people hold on to items that, let's say it was $10,000,
Okay.
right? But you hated it, and you hated her, but it's $10,000. So most of us, of course, would be like, well, I can't get rid of it, it's 10 grand. But think, again, if we're owners of our space, and we're putting this symbol of hate up in such a powerful position, then money doesn't matter. The price doesn't matter. It's only, let's give it, I always have clients do this with anything that's quote unquote expensive. I give it a $1 value.
Okay.
And from there, you could be like, oh, this is $1.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Aunt Sue. You're done. And anyway, and then you put something else up there that you really truly love.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I love this, it's okay for it to be up here?
Oh, it's fantastic because it just reminds you of love. Love
Right.
just radiates over top.
Awesome. So I have to say, though, there are definitely books on this bookshelf I hate it. Should I get rid of them?
Please.
Okay.
Yeah. It just because, especially with books, I'm glad you brought up books. Books are one of these things, especially in New York apartments, especially in any city. People carry books kind of as a badge of honor. It's like, look what I've read.
Yeah.
It's great. When you don't have the space, if you have a library, a dedicated library, fantastic. Have books. But when you have a small space, who cares? Get rid of the books that you don't read.
Yeah.
Especially like a lot of books serve a purpose in a period of time for people. And so, like self-help books that are great, that help you get through emotions. But now you're vibrating at a different level. You're a different person. You're up here now. And so these books still, not these, but like if they were here, they hold you back a little bit. They're kind of like anchor points that grab you to a lower you. And so why not make room for new books? Create space.
Yeah, I'm definitely a book hoarder. So I try to have a rule where if I bring in a whole batch of new books, I have to get rid of some. But it sounds like I should prioritize getting rid of the ones that do not serve happy memories.
Yeah. Because remember, nothing in your space, this is such a big one, nothing in your space is worth blocking you, the real you. Nothing. No material object. I don't care the price. Nothing.
Well, price is not an issue.
Yeah. So yeah, cool. So this is, all these things, anything that you walk into that hits you right off the bat is very important to have like this big loving energy.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and we should say that the door is right here. So
the door is right there.
First thing you see when you walk in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So we'll talk about the couch. Couches.
Couches. Should I move it?
You should move it out the door. Couches, especially for city apartments, are the bane of everyone's existence.
Yeah.
Like, they're bad news bears.
There are like people whose whole job it is to slice your couch in half so that you can get it through like a narrow entryway and then back into your new apartment.
Exactly. So I'm just here to say, like, Feng Shui, there are some books on Feng Shui that just push couch position and bed position, and we'll get into bed position, but like couch position so much that it takes the fun out of where you want to actually put your couch. Feng Shui is really about intuition. It's about what's inside you that wants to come out in the life. So if you want your couch here, and a book says not to put it there, screw that. Put the couch where you want, because think how much more emotion of you that elicits being like, this is my space.
So how do you know if your couch is in the wrong place, though?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you. No. But like, what's funny, a lot of people have couches that are say, blocking a door or blocking an entranceway to something. And normally, what's that say? That says there's something inside themselves that they're kind of pushing away the outside from. And so anytime there's an opening or a way for flow, so like your home, you can't see it on the camera, but her home goes straight back and it has this beautiful flow. There's nothing blocking any of the entranceways. Now let's say you were single and you hated men, but you wanted to find love. And all of a sudden you have a couch here, then you have a table there, and then you have a picture of like Marilyn Monroe who died alone, tragic love figure, bad energy. That would be...
You're basically describing my first New
Yeah,
York
there we go.
apartment.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This would be an indication of we need to move the couch. Like we need to start seeing also what needs to open up inside you here first, and then we move the furniture to elicit more of that growth.
Okay.
Yeah. So the couch, anyway, your couch is in great position, up against a wall. Couches that face or have the backs to windows are kind of a no-no, but if it's the only place, don't get neurotic about it. Coffee tables too. I want to touch on coffee tables very quickly. Coffee tables are great. I have seen people's lives change because of coffee tables. True story. I have one client, I won't tell you too much about it, but she got a coffee table that was, so many people get coffee tables that are like, well, it holds a space, it's big and blah, 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 blah. But like, think about it. Again, if we're owning our space, why would we want something big and heavy and crappy in the middle of the area that's just purely for use? Like this is beautiful. Reclaimed wood, it goes with the aesthetic of everything else. It's open, there's flow under here. It's a great coffee table, and it really embodies, I think, what you and your husband are. It's just like this really unique piece.
The other thing I love about this coffee table is that no matter how many times I've spilled red wine or soy sauce on it, you can't even see it.
Exactly. There we go. See? So that's that. But that's why I just want to like talk about furniture. That like, it's just important to get it. And real quick segue. Also see if you're trying to bring in love, if you're trying to bring in abundance or something like that, see what energy the couch has. Was it from your ex? Is it from your divorced spouse? Is it broken? All right, I've seen a lot of couches that have broken spines in the thing. What does that say? I mean, like metaphorically, it says I'm unworthy to have my own spine. I'm gonna lay on this thing.
I'm secretly looking for an excuse to get a new couch so you can tell me there's
I
bad
hate
energy.
this couch. It is dark energy. We all are possessed. No, so it's yeah.
Back to furniture position for a second. One thing that we really struggled with when we moved here is the TV. So you guys can't see, but our TV is right here because there's a door that opens into the room, and we didn't know how to position the TV in a way that we could see it from the couch, but it wasn't the focal point of the room. What's your stance on that?
Yeah, so TVs have become the focal points of them, just like you said. And I'm so glad that you are not making it the focal. I mean, you could, and that's fine. If people watch TV a lot, that's fine. But I love the way you guys have positioned it here. It's kind of in a corner. It's in a very cool area. It's not out in front. And it seems like you guys can watch it just perfectly.
Yeah, it sort of lends to just sort of lying back dramatically and watching television.
Exactly. I really enjoy it when the TV is kind of off the side. No TVs in the bedroom, too, if it's possible. No TVs in the bedroom.
Why is that?
It's, we are so bombarded with so much information and so much social media and news and all this other crap. Again, our home is our space. No. Like, and the bedroom is the most sacred space of all. I could spend years talking about the bedroom. But
can you give one quick tip on bed placement?
Yeah. So bed placement is you want your feet facing the door. You don't want it definitely outside the door.
Oh, that's what we do.
Right. So if this is the doorway, I wouldn't want my feet directly in place of that.
Oh, I don't want that.
Not directly. If it's off center, it's fine.
Okay.
Again, in New York City apartments, it's hard to do.
Yeah.
So it's not. I don't get crazy about it. Some people do, and I think that's just insane. I think the way you guys have it positioned in your room, which I've seen, is fantastic. It's a good thing.
But we're facing the door.
It's not any other way though would be far worse.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Lesser of many evils.
Yeah. And in New York, there's just no perfect way. I mean, if you were building your own house in the country, then we would have a whole completely different discussion.
Okay.
But moral of the story is this is what you don't want. You don't want your head on the wall of the door. Because just even subconsciously...
The same wall as the door.
Yeah. If subconsciously you think about it, like there's someone coming in and you can't see it.
Right.
It's just not good. It's kind of funky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't do that.
Okay.
And bedroom, sacred place, sacred space.
Great.
Make it as sacred as humanly possible. So phones out of the bedroom if you can. If you just have an alarm clock, an hour before bed, just nurture this space of creativity. And no papers, no work, no iPads. I know there are, but if there are, just take time to allow like a half hour between sleep and work to shed that.
Yeah, we keep trying to instill a no phones in the bedroom rule. It is a hard one to
It
keep.
is a hard one.
Yeah.
I even falter.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on. So we were talking about this area here. Yeah, we won't be able to see it, but this is the window area. Anytime there's a window area, focus on, the reason why we want to focus on the window area is because that's where the most chi, and chi is energy, right? And think of it as the lifeblood of the home.
Oh, that makes sense, because this is my absolute favorite spot in my apartment.
Exactly. I mean, how couldn't it? It's sunny, it's beautiful, it's just like, it radiates. People are naturally drawn towards things that have life and flow. We just are. And anything to block that is just, it's bad.
Okay.
And you want to start asking yourself subconsciously, like, why am I blocking this? Like, why would I want to block the flow? And a lot of people, they just, they need time to heal and they want to keep people out. But if you're ready to not do that, open up any area. So, anytime there's an area with lots of sunlight in your home, try and keep that as open as possible. Don't have couches up against it. Don't have dark, heavy, old curtains. Curtains are important too, because when you have those curtains, if they're old and they're dirty and they're gunky, then think about it. That's where the sunlight and the energy pierce through, and it kind of showers the rest of the apartment with that.
But what if you, just for the sake of privacy, need to have something up? Like, we've been talking about putting up some sort of window treatment here. What should we do?
It can be dark. I mean, it really can, as long as it's pulled back and open.
Okay.
The thing is it's the quality of the material. It doesn't need to be expensive, but like, does it elicit an old feeling? I've touched so many drapes and curtains and blinds before that they're dusty and they're heavy, and like their grandparents gave them to them that have died, and you're just like, like you catch it in your throat almost, like it's an energetic cough. So heavy is okay, and it blocks out light during the night if that's what you want. That's fine. Just make sure that they feel fresh and alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about plants? Is that something we could bring into the space?
Yeah. In terms of plants, there is nothing better than plant life in a home, especially in a city home, because a lot of us.
Our one pathetic plant.
It's growing though. Look at this.
We're trying.
And it's in a heart. It's in a heart shape.
Aww.
So this is it. But if you can have plants all around your home that don't need sunlight, think about it. You're just bringing in oxygen and life. And in city apartments too, they're just so old and stale.
Yeah.
And it automatically strips away the day. Like if you walk into a forest, life just kind of has a way of dissipating the city life, and then you feel like open, and your chest opens up, and your mind opens up, and space opens up. Why not create that same space in your home?
I totally agree. Now, I can keep 2 children and a dog alive, but for some reason, I have the blackest thumb in the world. But I'm gonna make a new resolve to keep plants alive.
I would give it a shot. I would give it a shot, because there's some really hardy plants out there. Yeah,
great.
That would work without the sunlight.
And where would you recommend we put them in this room?
This area would be great because there's just so much sunlight. It could become this whole little forest. And so what you're doing is you're not only bringing the sunlight, but you're bringing in this plant life that just spreads throughout the home. The other place that you want to look for plant life is if there's any darker energies. And by darker energies, I'm not talking like poltergeist or anything like that, but maybe.
That would be great.
The thing is you want to look for just something that feels stale and dank and kind of warm, and put a plant there.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a whole other thing you can do with crystals too. Look online for crystals. It's a whole other discussion. Amethysts, bright, beautiful crystals you can put there, salt lamps, great stuff.
And what are some other common problems that people come to you with? We've talked a little bit about finding love. We've talked about, we've just talked about injecting more of yourself and positive energy into your home. What are some other common problems?
At the end of the day, it's this. To me, every problem stems from one thing. It's not owning the true you. There's this, I call it the seed of magic. All of us have this seed inside us, right? And at birth and through our childhood, we know this seed. It is like this connected beauty where just love flows and everything seems possible. And then as life happens and societal norms and stuff just kind of gunks it up, then we lose that. And so to me, find that seed, find that essence of you, and then embody that in the home. And it doesn't mean buying all new furniture or anything. It just might be paint. It might be a picture that represents something in here where it's like your little nod to yourself, where like, I know I exist. And just have that grow. Just grow inside your home.
I love that. That is so calming and liberating. I feel calmer just talking about it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it's the essence of everything.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I feel like we've learned a lot about Feng Shui.
Yeah, we shoved a lot in there.
Yeah. And most importantly, you told me I don't have to rearrange my whole apartment.
You're good.
Great.
No, we'll talk after camera then.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks so much, guys.